Now we come to one of our favorite parts of the ceremony. As you all know, our dear Mrs. Annie Glenn is no longer able to travel to be here with us to present the Annie Award in person. Introducing the Annie Award tonight are the convention co-chairs, Lori Sterling and Jessica Sullivan, along with ASHA President Shari Robertson.
It is our great honor to present the last award for this amazing award ceremony. ASHA's version of the Oscars, the Annie Glenn Award. The Annie Award is a special award in honor and tribute to a very special woman. As I think most of you know, Mrs. Annie Glenn has been a dear friend and champion of ASHA. For so many years, she has been our most public face. Her personal story is an uplifting example of one woman's strength, ability to transcend personal adversity. She was always, and still is, the epitome of grace under pressure, charm in the face of fear, and encouragement in the face of frustration.
She has been so special to ASHA for so long and has graced us with so many moving moments that she is a legend to many of us. Though Mrs. Glenn is not able to join us during the presentation of the award any longer, we continue to be in touch and share the news of the award each year. Mrs. Glenn is still deeply committed to the award and the work by ASHA.
And because Mrs. Glenn is not able to join us tonight, she sent us a brief letter that she asked to be read to each one of you. I want to offer my congratulations to all the award winners and honorees this evening. Through the many years that I've been part of the ASHA Awards ceremony, I have seen how important the peer recognition of your amazing achievements and lifetime of work means. How wonderful to be recognized and honored by your peers for such incredible accomplishments. You are indeed extraordinary leaders in everyday life. And I know personally how your dedication, your patience, your skills, and your passion for communication changes lives. My thanks to each and every one of you, Annie Glenn.
Each year, we give the Annie Glenn Award to a person who shares Mrs. Glenn's personal dedication to bringing attention to and helping those with communication disorders. A person who uses his or her position in the public eye and unique skills to help uplift and tell the stories of the patients, clients, and students we serve.
Mrs. Glenn is always excited when we tell her who will receive the Annie Award. And I'm not kidding. She still carries a list of all of the Annie recipients in her purse.
It's getting a little heavy.
I think so.
Yes.
And she has added one more name to that list. She was especially happy this year to know that the award was going to someone who works with young people.
This year's Annie recipient, Taro Alexander, met Mrs. Glenn in 2002. He knew her then, and now she is, and he knows what she is and what this award means to all of us. Taro founded the Stuttering Association for the Young, better known as SAY. An actor and a person who stutters, Taro has spent years bringing together young people across the country to form a special community and to travel the world with remarkable performances.
We can think of no better introduction to or explanation of his work than a special performance by two alumni of Camp Say program. Please help us welcome the remarkable and talented Juliana and Bella.
Stuttering is tiring. I'm standing on stage with the lights beaming down on my face, and everyone's staring at me from all angles, waiting on what is going to come out of my mouth.
My body arts to get all hot and Eddie, because I know that I'm about to stutter. The engine arts to build, and I can already feel my body aching, and then I get in.
I begin what I can already tell is going to be a long journey that was just supposed to be a short walk.
But where I got lost and found I said that the elf without a map and couldn't find a soul to help me.
Halfway through, and I can already tell that they are dying for this to be over. Don't worry, me too.
I'm tired of aching. I'm tired of holding my breath to try to get the words out.
I'm tired of being scared. I'm tired of the looks, and I'm tired of being judged.
I want to scream.
Maybe that is why I love to sing.
Because and I sing.
I feel like
I'm on a cloud.
You can be amazing, you can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast or be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. Or you can start speaking up. Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the words do when they settle neath your skin. Kept on the inside and no sunlight, sometimes the shadow wins. But I wonder what would happen if you... Everybody's been there, everybody's been stared down by the enemy. Fallen for the fear and done some disappearing. Bow down to the mighty. Don't run, stop holding your tongue. Maybe there's a way out of the cage where you live. Maybe one of these days you can let the light in. Show me how big your brave is. Say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be proud. I just wanna see you. I wanna see you be
Enjoy it. Soak it up. Ladies, thank you for sharing. What an amazing gift. And I know there's not a dry eye in the house. Mine too. Thank you for sharing your gift with us. And I'm going to invite you to come back and sit with me, and we will invite another SAY alum, fellow alum, Amy Rodriguez, who is going to gift us with some more special words. So will you join me back here?
Good evening. My name is Amy Rodriguez, and I graduated SAY 4 years ago. For years, my stutter felt like it was the focal point of my existence. It felt as if my stutter defined me. Preventing my stutter was the main focus of my family, and it inevitably became mine as well. I now understand my family's intentions were pure, but at the time, none of us grasped the emotional burden that came with trying to stop my stutter. The acceptance and embracement of my stutter was never an option. Stuttering felt like a constant battle within myself, and I was the one taking loss after loss. I would often imagine a green slimy monster's hand inside my body, squeezing on my throat, leaving me gasping for air. The monster would taunt me as he pleased, and I had no control whatsoever. It became rather easy to let people speak for me. Nobody besides my intimate family knew the outgoing and spontaneous side of me. Coming from a low socioeconomic community, my surroundings did not show me any possibilities, and due to my stutter, I deemed myself voiceless. Before SAY, I did not believe my voice mattered. Dreaming and aspiring felt like a luxury I did not have nor deserved. The possibility of attending college never crossed my mind, as I thought someone with a stutter would never be accepted. I still vividly remember my first meeting with Taro, as well as the first couple of weeks in the Saturday program. I was 13 years old, and I had never been in a space where I felt genuinely heard, without interruptions, without the stares. Everyone at SAY made me feel welcomed and loved. Taro and everyone I met at SAY became my advocates. They listened and embraced me in a way I had never experienced. They pushed me and made me feel comfortable saying what I had to say. Being part of SAY taught my family and I that stuttering is okay. It is okay to embrace my stutter. It is okay to accept my stutter. For the past 3 years, I've had the honor of being a counselor at Camp SAY in an effort to give back what was given to me. I want to reciprocate the love and support SAY has given me for so many years. I wish to be the person I wish I had when I was younger, when I thought nobody understood, when that frustration, anger, and sadness overpowered any other emotion I felt, when I believed what I had to say did not matter. Since graduating from SAY, I have achieved unimaginable dreams. I have studied abroad in Cuba, Vietnam, and South Africa. 6 months ago, I became the first-generation college graduate where I obtained a dual degree from the State University of New York at Fredonia in Communication Disorder Sciences and Spanish. Two months ago, I began to pursue my master's in communication disorders with a bilingual extension at Teachers College, Columbia University. Say has been one of my most important advocates for years. Say helped me find my confidence, made me believe my voice was heard, my voice mattered, and taught me to dream without limits. Thank you for listening.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Taro thinks that he's coming out right now, but we have a little surprise for him. These ladies have some additional words, and they're going to share them before he comes out for his award. So I'm going to ask Juliana and Bella to join Amy, and they have a few things they would like to say to Taro that he did not know was going to happen tonight.
Taro, for the past 9 years, you have guided, embraced, and shown me unconditional love. Throughout this time, you have taught me how to unapologetically be my true self. Say was a place where I first experienced what it felt like to be heard. Say was a place where I found my voice and learned how to grow into it.
Taro, thank you for all that you've done for me. You've not only introduced me to people who understand and support me, but you've given me opportunities and experiences of a lifetime. Without you, I never would have met my best friends or gone out for school musicals or simply raised my hand in class. You are the most compassionate person I know, and you always put others before yourself. Thank you so much for supporting us and our voices.
Arrow, you have been such a role model and a light in my life. Thank you for guiding me through the path of self-acceptance and seeing my worth. Thank you for creating a safe haven for others that you didn't have growing up. It changed my life. I'm so thankful for my time at Say, and I could not think of a more deserving person to be given the Annie Glenn Award than Arrow. Like Taro, Annie is a hero who has an astounding passion to help others. The love that you have in your hearts is immeasurable. You truly are my heroes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our 2019 Annie Glenn Award recipient, Taro Alexander.
Y'all are good at keeping secrets, huh?
That's how you want to play. That's sweet.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
done.
Thank you.
Enjoy
Thank you.
it.
Thank you. Do you mind holding it? I do not mind. All right. Y'all leaving me? Where y'all going? Oh. I gotta do this by myself? All right. Oh man. That was very surprising. Okay. All right, I see. Wow. Thank you. Thank you all. So, take a moment. This is wild. Thank you very much. I am incredibly honored by this. Life is full of big time surprises, and you truly never know where the path will take you. I was always a child who knew what I wanted. I always had clear dreams, and while my career goals would change from time to time, my life goals never wavered. Even as a 12-year-old kid, there was something I wanted more than anything. Something I dreamed about more than anything. I wanted to be a dad. I dreamed of being a husband. I've stuttered since I was 5 years old, and I grew up hating the way that I spoke. I was deeply ashamed of my stuttering. I spent many years feeling alone, isolated, afraid. I vividly remember being a teenager. I would sit in my bed at night and draw picture after picture of myself in a cage. I would fill up pages of my journal with the word loneliness, write it over and over and over again. I spent hours letting that word lonely take possession of myself. Many nights as a teenager, I would cry myself to sleep with these words swirling around my mind, taking hold of my heart. I would allow this fear to lead the way in terms of what was possible and not possible for my future. And during those nights, I was convinced that what I wanted the most, having a family of my own, finding my soulmate and my life partner, having the privilege of being a father, were simply not in the cards for me. During my teenage years, I would wake up with one thought on my mind: don't let anyone today hear me stutter. I must hide this defect. I must do anything and everything to keep this secret a secret. So that's what I did. I found various ways to hide. Of course, the most effective way to hide stuttering is to not speak. So I did a lot of not speaking. I did a lot of figuring out when it was going to be my turn to read aloud in class, and right before my turn, I would always have to go to the bathroom. I got to know the bathrooms of my high school extremely well. The sinks were my buddies, and the walls were my confidants. While I had friends, I was sure to not let anyone get super close to me. I became an expert at putting up just the right amount of walls so I could keep my secret a secret. Choosing which word to say in which situation was beyond a full-time job. It was physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausting. I would come home from school each day absolutely drained. I was living a shell of a life, trapped by my own fear of someone finding out my secret. My incredible, loving, beautiful mother is here tonight. Where are you, Mom? She's right there. My mom has always been my champion and my advocate. My mom is a wise, caring, and super cool person. And I'm not the only person who thinks my mom is cool. In high school, my friends and classmates also thought my mom was cool. She's just one of those people that's super easy to be around, really fun and encouraging, and is a great listener. My mom would always come to whatever events were taking place at my high school, and through these events, she would get to meet and have conversations with my friends and my classmates. I remember the following happening a few different times. The day after an event at school, I would run into one of my classmates who got to speak with my mom the previous evening, and they would tell me how cool my mom was, and I would agree. Then the moment came. Them. What's your mom's name again? Me. Long pause as I stand there frozen with fear. What? Although when I said what back then I didn't stutter. It kind of ruins the story, but you can go with it. Them. What's your mom's name? Me. Oh, yeah, sorry. Her name is, whoa. I don't know what's going on here, but wow, has this ever happened to you? I hope I'm okay. Hey, do I feel hot or anything? And I would grab the person's hand and I would put their hand to my forehead, and the person is looking at me like I'm the strangest person they've ever seen in their entire life. I don't know what's going on, but I can't remember my mom's name right now. Maybe I should go to the nurse. Wow, this is so, that's so weird. Have you, no, I know, that's, I don't, Dad, I can't really place, I'll be right. And I would walk away from that person, mumbling to myself. Kind of funny, kind of odd, kind of creative, kind of sad. And of course, I would then have to avoid that person for the next 4 years, because the next time they see me, what are they going to say? Hey, did you remember your mother's name? Also, for the record, I would like to take this opportunity to say my mother's name, because in addition to her being a cool person, she has a really cool name. Are you ready for it? I don't know. Are you ready for it? All right, here we go. So my mother's name is Ricky. Yep, that's my mom's name. It's Ricky. 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 That's my mom's name. Growing up as a person who stutters, I felt like the whole world was against me. My mother's name, as you now know very well, is Ricky. I can't seem to say R's without stuttering. My father's name was Bob. Can't say B's without stuttering. I went to the Duke Ellington School of the Arts. Can't say D's without stuttering. My brother's name is Jason. Can't say J's without stuttering. While living in New York City, I lived in the following apartment numbers: 23D, yes, more D's. 3B, yes, more B's. I think you get the point. It goes on and on and on. I was also convinced that stuttering was the reason for everything. I knew as fact that the reason my older brother, who is 8 years older than me, didn't want me to come and hang out with him and his friends and his girlfriend was because he was embarrassed and ashamed by my stutter. It wasn't until I was in my mid-20s, I kid you not, that it even occurred to me that the reason that my 17-year-old brother didn't want me as a 9-year-old to come with him to high school parties was because I was 9. I could have been the most eloquent, fluent speaker in the history of the universe, and my 17-year-old brother would still not have wanted 9-year-old me to come with him to those parties. But this is what happens when you grow up with shame and a desperation to feel included, a longing to be cool, a needing to belong. I've been mocked, teased, talked over, and allowed myself to feel less than more times than I care to admit. I have sat with a large group of people and felt invisible, wanting to jump into the conversation, to have my voice be part of the symphony of sounds that surround me. And time again, I have chosen to be silent. I spent years fantasizing about what it must feel like to spontaneously tell a joke, to have my words leap into the mix, to have my vote count about what movie we were going to see that day. And at the same time, I became comfortable in my silence, content to live on the sidelines. When I was 19 years old, I moved from Washington, D.C., which is where I grew up, to New York City. I moved to follow in my older brother's footsteps and pursue a career in theater. I wanted to be an actor, just like him. My brother and a few friends of his started a theater company, and it was going well. One day, a couple of months after moving to New York, I stopped by the theater to see if my brother was around. I walked into the office, and one of his best friends was there. I had known this friend of my brother's for over 5 years. When my brother came home and surprised me for my birthday party, this friend came with him. This guy knew me. I popped into the office and asked, "Is my brother here?" He looked at me, straight at me, and said, No, your brother's not here." And he kept looking at me, making sure I heard what he said, making sure I knew what he was doing. I looked at him, and with a river of tears starting to make their way to my eyes, I said, with a smile, "Okay, thanks." I turned around and walked out onto West 17th Street. The sun was shining, people were everywhere, and I had never felt so small. I felt like a tiny little fleck of dust that might as well just disappear. Yes, I was angry at my brother's friend, but even more than that, I was disgusted by myself, by my lack of fight, by my acceptance of being walked over. In the over-the-top, feel-good Hollywood movie version of my life, I make the block, go right back into that office and tell my brother's friend off. But I didn't. In the over-the-top, feel-good Hollywood movie version of my life, as I walk around New York City that day, I vow to never let anyone make me feel small again, to always stick up for myself or anyone else that needs an advocate. But that is not what happened. At least not for the next 7 years. And then one day, after many years of hiding, after many years of not meeting another person who stutters, the impossible happened. I was doing a play in Colorado, living my dream as a professional actor, and for the first time in my career, I stuttered on stage during a performance. I freaked out. I thought I would be fired. The next night, I stuttered again, same line, this time a little bit longer. I freaked out even more. I really thought I was going to be fired, and I needed to talk to someone. But when you are good at keeping a secret, there's no one to talk to about your secret, unless you don't want it to be a secret anymore. I had no choice. I needed to tell someone what was going on. I asked a friend in the show if I could talk with him. He said yes. I spilled my stuttering life story to this poor soul. He listened. When I was done, he said the most remarkable thing I'd ever heard. He said, "I stutter too." I couldn't believe it. A month later, back in New York City, he told me to pick up a book by Marty Jeser called Stuttering, A Life Bound Up in Words. I ran to the store, ran back home, and read that book from cover to cover. When I was done, I read it again, highlighting line after line, feeling for the first time in my life that someone actually understood this thing called stuttering. In the back of that book, Mr. Jeser listed a number of organizations that existed to support people who stutter. I was in shock. I had found my community, the stuttering community. Standing here this evening, I am filled with the deepest imaginable pride to be part of this extraordinary community. I am inspired by the work we do together. I am charged up by the ongoing commitment that all of you make each day to fight for those who have not found their fight yet. Tonight, I happen to be the one standing up here, but I don't stand up here alone. I proudly accept this award, this beautiful award named after a remarkable woman. Mrs. Annie Glenn is strong and graceful, kind and determined, wise and youthful, serious with a wonderful sense of humor. I am incredibly honored to have met Mrs. Glenn in the early years of SAY. Her words of encouragement back in 2002 continue to motivate me today. Mrs. Glenn, I hope the work we have been doing for the last 18 years have made you proud. I share this award with all of the other life-changing organizations that are out there doing such vital work each day. Organizations like the Stuttering Foundation, Friends, the National Stuttering Association, the American Institute for Stuttering, Stutter Talk, Camp Shoutout, Camp More, Camp Talks, Camp Dream, Speak, Live, and many other important organizations, and I hope you'll forgive me for not including all of them by name tonight. I share this award with all of the speech-language pathologists and leaders in this field who have dedicated their lives to helping others find their voice and have the courage to use that voice. In particular, I share this award with those of you who encouraged me and helped me in those early years. There are way too many of you to list here tonight, but please know how grateful I am to you and how much I admire and respect you. To everyone at ASHA, thank you for this honor. I mean, never in a million years did I imagine I'd end up here. After years of hiding, it feels profoundly good to be seen, heard, and not only accepted, but actually celebrated for being a person who stutters. It's wild. I share this award with everyone at SAY. All the staff, volunteers, parents, supporters, and members of our board. Thank you for your ongoing dedication to these amazing young people. To Ryan Geeling and Michael Alden, thank you for making my beautiful stutter. Thank you for continuing to dedicate yourselves to making sure that the world sees this film. To all the young people at SAY, including Amy, Juliana, and Isabella, thank you for changing my life. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life for all of these years. Thank you for being my teachers. Thank you for being my heroes. Tyler, that goes to you too. To my mom, I love you with all of my heart. I am honored to be your son. Thank you for showing me what it means to listen, to care, and to feel. Thank you for showing me how to consider all sides of a story and how to support someone while staying rooted in who you are. I am elated that we moved back to live in your city, our city. Say DC, here we come. As I said in the beginning, I was always a child who knew what I wanted. I wanted to be a father, and I dreamed of being a husband. And for many, many years, I knew as fact that those dreams just weren't for me. And yet somehow, those facts ended up being wrong. Very, very wrong. To my life partner and wife, Lee Pennybaker. I love you deeper than the ocean. Thank you for being my best friend. Thank you for accepting me for who I am, stutter and all. To my 3 phenomenal children, Jackson, Walker, and Hazel. I love you higher than the sky. Thank you for teaching me how to be a father. Thank you all again for this distinguished award. I am honored to collaborate with you in this work and to be colleagues with you in this field. Let's keep listening to each other and keep believing in the extraordinary children we get to work with each day. Thank you for being their champions. Thank you all very much.
You're awesome.
Well, all I can say is, wow. So I too, before closing this amazing award ceremony, I too would like to take a moment of personal pleasure and wish my mother, Eleanor Schulman, happy 87th birthday, Mom. Well, this has been an incredible evening. Congratulations to all of tonight's recipients. I know I had a great time. I hope you did as well. And we all can't wait to see all of you again back here at the 2020 ASHA Awards ceremony in San Diego, California. Good night.